Hello everyone, I am Alexa Havan. Today is Wednesday, March 26th of 2025. I will be presenting to you today on Chapter 10 of our textbook. Chapter 10 is titled The Biochemical Roles of Transition Metals. This chapter takes a deep dive into transition metals, focusing on their essential roles in human health and biochemical processes. Transition metals are critical for a variety of functions in the body, but they must be present at the right amounts. The dietary intake of trace quantities of several transition metals are required for maintaining human health. An imbalance, whether this is excess or deficiency, can lead to significant health issues, so balance is key for proper function. When I first read Chapter 10, I was a little bit confused on the difference between transition metals and heavy metals, because the reading mentioned both terms, but it didn't fully explain the difference between the two. So I did some research of my own to figure this out, and I learned that these terms are not interchangeable. Some heavy metals are also transition metals, such as iron and copper, but others like lead and mercury are not. An interesting scientific article I came across while researching argued that using the term heavy metals as a scientific term is confusing and misleading. There's no clear definition of what counts as a heavy metal. So some elements in this category, like lead and cadmium, are toxic, while others, like zinc, are essential for health in small amounts. The article states that the term heavy metal groups things together, and heavy metals is not clearly defined. It often mixes metals, metalloids, and nonmetals without a clear definition. The article suggested that the term potentially toxic elements, or PTE, be used in place of the term heavy metals. The wider and less ambiguous term PTE can provide consistent and comparative use. The article was an interesting find. I think it provided some real-world connection to our course content. So when transition metals are ingested in large quantities, they can be potentially carcinogenic. Overaccumulation of these metals can induce oxidative stress and cause cellular damage. This is because heavy metals can generate something called reactive oxygen species, or ROS, which can damage DNA, cause mutations, and even lead to cancer. A study cited in Chapter 10 showed that rats that were exposed to excessive heavy metals developed cancerous tumors. Some common symptoms of acute heavy metal poisoning include abdominal pain, vomiting, muscle cramps, confusion, and numbness. Treatments include the administration of metal chelating agents, which are chemical compounds that can facilitate the removal of toxic metals from the body, as well as diuretics, or if kidney function becomes compromised, hemodialysis. Nutritional or genetically induced deficiencies of transition metals, such as iron, can lead to anemia. A zinc deficiency can cause immune system dysfunction, and a copper deficiency can lead to connective tissue defects. So, a scientific article I came across titled Genetic Disorders Associated with Metal Metabolism discussed the critical roles metals such as iron, zinc, manganese, copper, and chromium play in human health. It explored the imbalance of these metals, whether this would be due to a genetic disorder or metabolism issues. Deficiencies can cause various health issues and diseases. So the article kind of discussed all the diseases and issues that can be caused by deficiencies in all of these metals. So iron deficiency can lead to anemia, and anemia causes fatigue, weakness, and pale skin. Iron is essential for hemoglobin production. So in severe cases of iron deficiency, it can impair immune function and developmental growth. Zinc is crucial for immune function, wound healing, and DNA synthesis. A zinc deficiency can lead to growth impairment, immune dysfunction, delayed wound healing, and skin lesions. It can also impair cognitive development, especially in children. Manganese supports bone formation and metabolism. A manganese deficiency is rare, but it can cause osteoporosis, impaired growth, and increased oxidative stress. Copper is vital for red blood cell formation and iron absorption in the body. So a copper deficiency can cause anemia, weak bones, and cardiovascular issues. It can also lead to something called Menkes disease. Menkes disease is caused by a mutation in the ATP7A gene on the X chromosome. So that would come from the father. This gene controls the production of an enzyme that regulates copper levels. Menkes disease results in developmental delays and neurological problems. Unfortunately, most children with this disease will die early in childhood, so it is a very serious disease. Chromium helps with insulin regulation and glucose metabolism. Deficiency of chromium leads to glucose intolerance and insulin resistance, increasing the risk of type 2 diabetes and metabolic disorders. So this article, Genetic Disorders Associated with Metal Metabolism, explained that treatment for metal deficiencies involve oral supplements to restore necessary levels. Addressing deficiencies is crucial to prevent long-term complications. Ensuring adequate intake of these essential metals through a balanced diet or supplementation is vital for maintaining overall health. So transition metals can act as catalysts or electron carriers by undergoing transitions between valence states through the addition or donation of electrons, a process where they can donate one or more electrons from their outer valence shell to an electronegative acceptor species. This enables them to function as an electron carrier during redox reactions. Transition metals can function as catalyst cofactors in enzymatic reactions, increasing reaction efficiency by stabilizing intermediates. And additionally, they can function as Lewis acids, accepting electron pairs to facilitate in biochemical interactions and enhancing biochemical reactions. So iron plays a crucial role in oxygen transport, energy production, and redox reactions by helping shuttle electrons to drive ATP synthesis. In hemoglobin and myoglobin, heme-bound iron 2 binds to oxygen, facilitating its transport in the blood and storage in muscles. Since iron is toxic, the body regulates absorption through the hepcidin mechanism. This mechanism ensures that iron levels in the body are balanced by limiting iron absorption and release when iron is abundant, and allowing more iron to be absorbed and released when iron is needed. Before iron can be absorbed, Fe3 is reduced to Fe2 for transport. This process is tightly regulated by ferroportin and hepcidin to maintain iron homeostasis. Zinc is essential for gene regulation and enzyme function. Zinc finger motifs stabilize protein structures, enabling DNA binding and gene expression regulation. Zinc finger motifs are crucial structural elements in proteins. They help stabilize the protein's conformation. These motifs enable the protein to bind to DNA sequences, particularly in the promoter or enhancer regions of genes. By interacting with these regions, zinc finger motifs proteins can either activate or repress gene expression. Zinc also plays a crucial role in DNA replication and protein synthesis, enhancing enzyme activity to support proper cell function. With manganese, manganese is essential for enzyme catalysis, particularly in oxidation reduction reactions, where it facilitates electron transfer. It plays a key role in superoxide dismutase, or SOD, which is an enzyme that breaks down reactive oxygen species, or ROS, to protect cells from oxidative stress. Superoxide dismutase works by turning harmful molecules called superoxide radicals into safer ones, like hydrogen peroxide and oxygen. Copper is involved in redox reactions as well, and it serves as a cofactor in enzymatic processes similar to manganese. Copper is what catalyzes the conversion of superoxide into oxygen and hydrogen peroxide, reducing oxidative stress. Copper is crucial for collagen production, playing an essential role in connective tissue strength. Chromium is essential for insulin function, supporting glucose metabolism and blood sugar regulation. Chromium also supports protein and lipid metabolism as well as DNA repair, contributing to cellular health. So in conclusion, transition metals are vital micronutrients that support enzyme function, redox reactions, and cellular health. Their levels must be carefully regulated to prevent toxicity and negative health effects. Proper dietary intake and biological mechanisms such as the hepcidin pathway for iron regulation ensures a healthy balance. Understanding the biochemical roles and regulation of these metals highlights their profound impact on health and disease prevention. Thank you for watching, and these are my 5 multiple choice questions. I'll give you some time to look at them and choose your answers, and I will review the answers at the end. These are my references that I used throughout my research for this presentation, and this is the answer key to the 5 multiple choice questions. Thank you for watching.